How many of you are aware that goblins are not really the biggest fans of wizards? Well, although it's not exactly evident in the movies, it's quite apparent in the books. Hey everyone, and welcome back to a new video. Goblins are long-fingered, creepy little friends. Well, they definitely have etched their place into wizarding society, but they're not exactly happy with that place. They feel like they've been stepped on and mistreated for centuries, and if they had their way, they would quite happily take control of the wizarding world. There's a lot of reasons that factor into such a statement, so let's get right to it. Goblins are considered second-rate creatures by wizarding society. As a matter of fact, the ministry labels them as creatures of near-human intelligence. Near-human intelligence. They can talk, hold conversations, write books, add and subtract, but are only looked upon as near-human intelligence. It's quite contradictory, as they have complete control over the finances of the wizarding world with the ownership of Gringotts Bank, and therefore control over the economy itself. They are extremely goal orientated and very heavily money focused. I think it's pretty obvious even at this rate as to why goblins are kept at the level they're at, but we've got a whole lot more to talk about, so let's keep going because I've probably left out the most important thing up until now. They are magical, fully magical creatures with powers and skills that not even wizards could match. Goblins are very gifted with wandless magic and can channel it almost effortlessly. Well, they'd have to because they aren't permitted to carry wands whatsoever. It's actually a written rule that they can't use them. The underlying issue being that wizards fear the possibility of goblins being an unknown threat with a wand, and there's not really much more to it. Guys, before we start, I'd like to talk about today's sponsor, Surfshark. Surfshark offer you an incredibly powerful VPN to protect your internet privacy. In today's computer age, hackers are constantly trying to gain access to your bank account details, your social media passwords, and access to your personal information, amongst many other things. This can all be prevented when browsing under Surfshark's protection. Not only does it protect your privacy, it also offers you a lot more. Different countries have different viewing restrictions on what content can be viewed. Therefore, by logging into a VPN based in another country, you can gain access to that content that may be blocked in the country that you live in. For those of you who've always wanted to watch the full 8 Harry Potter movies on Netflix, but haven't been able to in your own country, you can simply select Turkey on your Surfshark VPN location and have full access to every single one of them. It's that simple. If you join Surfshark today, you'll get 83% off, 3 extra months for free. You'll also be able to use Surfshark on as many devices as you like. There's no limits. And finally, there's a 30-day money-back guarantee. Basically, if you're not happy, if you're not satisfied, then your money will be returned. It's a no-brainer, guys. So sign up to Surfshark right now by clicking the link in the description below. In response to this, goblins refuse to divulge their own secrets of magic, in particular, the way they've made their stunning artifacts, weapons and armour. They are excellent silversmiths and were responsible for the minting of the galleons, sickles and nuts, all used as currency in the wizarding world. It has been said that the worst thing to bribe a goblin with is gold because chances are they've a lot more of it than you do, and more than they'll ever need. Everything they create just seems to be timeless, but I think it's safe to say the Sword of Gryffindor stands out more than anything as being the most well-known goblin artifact. Something that's treasured by wizarding society as its craftsmanship is unrivaled. One of the biggest arguments from goblins is that the sword belongs to them and has been stolen, despite it actually being created for and sold to Godric Gryffindor. It is of their belief that any goblin creation will always belong to that goblin, and the sale of the item is only binding until the holder dies, of which the item must then be returned. It's pretty silly, but it's goblin custom, so we'll go with it. Despite everything they offer, they've been looked down upon for so long by Wizardkind. It's probably best represented by the depiction in the statue in the fountain at the ministry's lobby, where they're seen looking up in awe of wizards along with elves. The statue itself infuriated goblins right up until its removal, as it publicly represented their place in the world, something they feel they didn't deserve. They could more than likely take control of the wizarding world if they did in fact have wands, as they have so many different aspects of magic within them. Don't forget, they are fully magical creatures. They aren't born with a gene. There's no goblin squibs or anything of the sort. And speaking of controlling the community, they basically already do with the running of Gringotts Bank, as I've mentioned, and the amount of people who already owe them money. It wasn't as if they didn't try before though. There have been several goblin rebellions throughout the 16th, 17th and 18th centuries, rebellions that definitely made a mark. They refused to be subservient as elves did. They refused to look at themselves as anything less than equals, and all rebellions were labelled as bloody and vicious, which basically means quite a big loss of life. Even today, there's secret goblin groups plotting against the current government, but I can't imagine anything would ever be taken public anyway. Minister for Magic and leader of that government, Cornelius Fudge, actually wanted to remove goblins from control of the economy's finances. He wanted to take Gringotts Bank as a government-owned establishment and employ wizards there instead, but the proposed plan was met with fierce backlash, and even Cornelius himself worried what the reaction would have been too, more than likely another rebellion. Goblins even refused to stand with the Aurors and the government when Voldemort came into power. They would not take up arms against him. Even when he slaughtered an entire goblin family, the creatures still refused to side against him and remained neutral for the remainder of the war. You can probably see just how much of a distaste the goblins had for Wizardkind. It was a long-standing distaste that stretched back centuries, and I wouldn't be surprised to see another goblin uprising, but with that being said, it would definitely require the right chain of events to set things in motion. I actually feel that would have been a great sequel to the Harry Potter books. Harry's children, all that generation, to be involved in battling a goblin rebellion. Maybe a good title will be Albus Potter and the Goblin Rebellion. I don't know, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. So guys, with that being said, that is my video on why goblins hate Wizardkind and want to take over. If you have anything you'd like to add guys, then please do in the comment section below. I can't stress that enough, I want to hear what you guys think. I have a question for you all today. Are you happy to see Harry Potter folklore return? If so, well then, it's good to be back. Thanks again, and I'll see you all in the very next video.